Yo, 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 welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. Back at you with BMF, the last two episodes in the season 1 finale, ending with episode 8. As we know, a cop was murdered. Steve Woods' cop was murdered. Kato hit him in the head with a pipe when he was scuffling with Meech when they were trying to come and tear down, the 50 boys in their area. Now, of course, there's going to be some ramifications for this because Officer Wood, he's pissed and he wants revenge for what happened to his partner, and he's coming down heavy on B. He's coming down heavy on Meech and the 50 boys. So this is something that's going to continue into the second season, and I can see this so far away from being resolved. Also, since Meech did have some dealings with Officer Wood before Officer Wood decided to cut him off, this could potentially affect them moving forward, especially in the expansion. Now, at the beginning of episode 8, T gets picked up at school. And the teacher that was kind of helping him, somebody he used as a mentor, kind of saying, okay, this dude got police coming to the school. So going into the next season, if he decides to stay in school, it's going to be very hard for him to get help and people to believe that he's living a straight life. You know what I'm saying? They know he dabbling in the streets. Now, Meech also gets picked up at one of his new girls' houses. And basically, all the 50 boys get picked up, taken downtown, thrown in a paddy wagon, and basically, they all get questioned. Now, once the 50 boys get picked up, T starts actually questioning Kato's loyalty. And he said, how much do we really know about her? And what he does is put the bug in Meech's ear, because later on, Meech is chopping it up with her, asking her about her dad, how she got in the game, and she ended up lying about the set her dad came from, but Meech caught on to that a little later with that. Now, Terry ends up getting the settlement. One of the doctors was drunk, and once they tell him about it, the dad is dirty, man. He talking about T don't deserve the money. He's talking about all the stuff that him and Meech put us through. They don't deserve the settlement. I lost vision in one of my eyes and got shot in the head. I deserve the money, regardless of what I'm doing in the streets. And the dad was dirty for that, in my opinion. The dad and the mom on here is kind of like villains to me, but I digress in some weird ways. Now, we got a cameo from our boy Donnell Rollins playing Dr. Alvin. He was hilarious. And this nasty motherfucker's up here staring at dead women. Probably he's a necro. Y'all know the name. Whoever them people is that have sex with dead bodies, he's a nasty motherfucker. That's what he is. Now he's actually stitching up Lamar. We know Lamar got shot, and he's just running around with this wound. So it must have been an old friend or something hooked him up. And that scene was a good comic relief scene, and it was super hilarious. Now, as they sitting around the Black Mafia family. His name was actually created. The 50 boys are sitting around. Somebody said we should be called the Mafia family. Me said we ain't Italian, so we're going to throw the black on top. And the name was born. And that's how the name was created. It was kind of dope. Now, as y'all know, Meech wants to start expanding. And he actually started expanding to different parts of town. Since, of course, the police got that area on lock because of the police shooting. DC Youngfire character was great. Slid in. He had his hat on, looking like he was part of the goddamn Junkyard Boys with Fat Albert, and he slid in on him. Called Meech a Billy D looking motherfucker. That shit was hilarious. Now, as far as Kato and B Hop, they actually love each other, and you could tell Kato really loved B Hop, but it was too late. Since B Hop found out she wasn't loyal and was actually working with Lamar and playing him the entire time, he still loved her, but you can tell that's put a red flag in his head because he's not going to continue. He's not going to continue doing that. He knows she crooked, and he knows she can't be 100% trusted no more. But Kato really did love B, and they tried to set up the plan to where he's supposed to shoot Lamar, but Lamar seen right through that shit. Now, Meech and Terry actually start talking about the business and the future moving forward. Meech, like I said, he's expanding. He want to cop even more weight from Big L. Now, Terry was a little hesitant about doing that because he wants to keep their agreement intact. But Meech don't give a damn about that. Y'all know he's ambitious and he's going to try to take over the whole goddamn city. Now, Lamar's ass been on the run, y'all. He's dripping blood everywhere. Um, and he know Kato tried to set him up initially for the first meet. Because Meech shot Lamar. Um, well, no, I don't know if it was Meech. No, the hitters came through and shot Lamar, but he's just been leaking everywhere. So they set up another plan and another scheme later that night to try to get him hit. But he knows Kato was trying to set him up. So basically, at the end of the episode, Lamar grabs Kato, comes out of the club, and then Meech and B is sitting there with guns pointed on both of them. Meech ended up shooting Lamar in the stomach. Now, they never seen him pass out and die. We just see him sitting there shot in the stomach. Is Lamar dead? Can he show up later on and wreak havoc? I'm glad they left that open because that's a character we all want to see come back. I recently watched The Wire season 1 and got to see Omar, and I can definitely tell that he was influenced by Omar's character, Lamar. So he may come back. Now, B-Hop ends up killing his girl, Kato. And when he killed her, it really fucked him up. You can tell. He gonna actually regret killing her. He already does. And he's going to hold Meech responsible. But Meech said, look, it's a family. She was a rat. And even though you loved her, told you to get rid of her a long time ago, she had to go. So we'll see how that ends up turning out. Now, Meech's relationship with his parents is non-existent. Now, his mom is basically, his dad been through with him, but once your mama turn your back on you, he ain't got nobody. And they go back to the house after they kill Kato and shoot Lamar, and they just sitting there drinking, and he's asking his mom, like, I'm still your son, ain't you? But she can tell he's changed, especially after he may have caught a potential body. She don't want nothing to do with him. Now, Big L had warned Terry about meat. She said, I'm not doing business with this food. Don't bring him around. And then he ends up bringing Meech to the meetup to pay Big L. And I was like, that was stupid. Are you trying to end your arrangement? Are you trying to lose the plug? And Meech had a point. He was like, well, I'm hustling and I've touched all these dollars, whatever he said. He was like, so we are partners indirectly. Then Big L pulled a gun on Meech and all her dudes and told him to get out here before she shoot him. And she warned Terry again, don't bring Meech around and this agreement's over. But the way she looked at him, you can definitely tell Big L want to get with Terry and give him some of that cougar. So you should be back. Now, towards the end of the episode, B actually is getting harassed by Officer Wood, and they found the fucking gun. He kept the same goddamn gun he done created all these did all these murders on, and he's just running around with it in the stash box. Now they got him in the studio pressing him about the officer, about Kato, about everything. So will B snitch to save himself, or is he gonna stay loyal to the Black Mafia family? We got to find out on the next episode. Now, Terry is actually questioning being in the game because Terry's girl left him, took his son. And it's really Terry's mama's fault. She was already down in the game. Of course, she wanted him to quit, but until she had that secret conversation with her, looking all big and with them bucking her eyes, talking about, you better leave him, then she actually left him. And they parents are villains in this. If not villains, I understand what they're saying, but they're like anti-heroes because they show ain't just 100%. You didn't convince my girl to leave with my son. It'd be different if it was just her, but what about the kid? And he's a good father. She didn't think about that. She did not think about that. And then this season basically starts with Terry saying, look, Meech, I'm leaving the game. Meech is like confused. He like, what we gonna do about Big L? That's the plug. He's like, you'll figure it out, but he's leaving the game. So will Terry come back? I'm pretty sure he will. Something's gonna happen that's gonna have to force him to come back. And I'm excited. So BMF was a little different. I enjoyed that they went back to the 80s and started the story there. Of course, they had to, and they're going to work up to the 2000s when the BMF was at the height of their power. Of course, you see 50 Cent right here. He has multiple shows going on, and he knows what he's doing. Knowing the streets element and actually being in the streets is helping him produce. It's helping him pick the right characters, say the right things, and make these shows seem authentic. That's what it's about at the end of the day, and that's why we watch Power and all of these shows. For the real gritty look into inner city life in the drug game. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be back at you with more reviews. Peace.